Hi, my name is Jason Running. This is my final project on fan reception and media adaptation analysis using the show Game of Thrones. In this presentation, I'll be looking at how the show kind of stopped being just HBO's thing once fans started fighting back. Basically, my main point is this: Game of Thrones isn't just a finished show anymore. Fans are still out there reshaping it with the reactions on social media, things like fan edits, stuff like that, well after the show has ended. So here's the big idea. I'm arguing that after the show ran out of books to use, the adaptation choices the show creators made a bunch of problems. But fans turned those problems into something new and kept the story going. Let's look at the two methods I used. Media adaptation analysis is all about how they took the books and turned that into a TV show, with things like all the time crunches, shorter seasons, and the pressure to wrap it up in time to get it out there. That's why a lot of the later seasons in Game of Thrones felt super rushed and didn't really match up to the books. Now, with fan practices and reception, it looks at what the audience actually did about it. Things like petitions, memes, fan edits, like I said earlier, fan fiction, and basically just the response all over social media with things like Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, etc. It's basically the fans talking back and taking ownership. When you mix both those methods together, it's clear that fans have way more power than we usually think. Now, I have 4 key examples from Game of Thrones showing these methods in full action. First, Daenerys going full mad and burning King's Landing in Season 8, Episode 5. That was a rushed TV decision by the show creators. And that whole spectacle totally messed up what her character was all about. Second, the finale where Bran randomly gets elected king, they had to make up that ending because there was no more books to use to base the show off of. So that's just saying the show creators had no more source material and they had to just make up what they think the ending should be rather than what the original book author envisioned for it, and also what fans envisioned for it. Third, the Battle of Winterfell in episode 3. It was shot way too dark because of different production limits, time limits, there was money limits, so they had to shoot that episode in basically pitch black darkness. And I'll show you more examples of what I'm talking about in that episode in a little bit in the slideshow. And then lastly, the huge explosion of fan fiction where people just basically wrote their own versions of season 8 and season 7. Each one of these examples I just stated shows how the show's shortcuts left gaps and how fans jumped right back in and filled them up. Now, here are a few examples I found with different responses all over Twitter in wake of the finale in season 8 and season 7. At the top, we also have the change.org petition that has almost 2 million signatures showing just how much fans were affected by season 8 and how mad they were and how much they want to just voice their disapproval to the show creators and HBO. And this is what I was talking about earlier, where the show was filming in pitch black darkness, and people made fan edits online on YouTube and Twitter and Reddit or whatever else, basically just lighting the show up so you can actually see the emotion happening in the scene. And in some of these, you can just barely even see what's happening. Like at the very bottom on the left, that's what it looked like before the fan edit. And then on the right, that's what it looked like after the fan edit. And you can actually see what's happening in the show. At the top here, same thing on the left. The fan edit where you can actually see what's going on in the scene. And then on the right, it's basically pitch black darkness. And that's the original unfan edited version of that scene. So, why does all this matter? When you put these two methods together, you realize Game of Thrones' real legacy isn't just what was on HBO. It's everything the fans did after the finale and after all these episodes and seasons that they just did not like, did not agree with the show creators' decisions on what to do whatsoever. All the drama and backlash didn't just kill the show, it actually just made it stronger and kept it alive. And my personal takeaway from this, simple: fans have more power than we really realize. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for listening to my presentation. I hoped it was informative. I hoped it taught you more about why fan reception and media analysis really matters.